Hi. So this is the third tutorial of our third person game tutorial series. So in the previous one, we have added these camera controls to our character. Um, but it seems like whenever I move my camera, the camera is rotating, which is what we expect. But similarly, uh, our character mesh is also rotating, right? Well, this is fine for now, uh, but it seems like quite odd, right? Uh, so what I want to achieve is like whenever I move the camera, only the camera should move, not the character's rotation, right? So we can fix this up real quick. Uh, Simply type rotation here and make this tick disable. So you can see now whenever I move my camera, only the camera is rotating, not the character, right? Also, since I come up with these specific rotation related features, I would like to toggle these values as well, which is use controller desired rotation as true and orient rotation to movement as true. These stuff will be used so whenever we try to move our character, automatically the character component or character mesh should move to that specific direction, right? Instead of uh, you know facing to its own direction. Yeah, so make sure to toggle these values and make sure to disable use controller rotation yo if you want to prevent the character rotates whenever we move our character camera. Okay, now let's see how we can add our movement inputs to our character. Basically, first we have to create a new input action over here inside the characters folder. I'll create a new input action called IA move, and this one also should be axis 2D, and as the modifiers I can add something like dead zone. So by default these are the provided values for the dead zone, so whenever these values threshold has been surpassed, the input value will be throttled, right? So the values will be inside this range. Okay, so now let's add that input action to our mappings, which is IA move, and let's add W as our first input mapping, and there let's add a modifier called swizzle input axis values. Okay, and settings should be similar to this one, which is fine. Or maybe let's override the settings and add it to the player mappable key settings. Okay, so maybe in the later part when we are implementing our option settings, UI features and all, we may able to change these values using our UI settings if we make this as overrideable setting. Okay, so similarly let's add a new one, and it is S. So let's add two modifiers. uh, wait okay the first one is negate, Okay, and the second one is swizzle input, and this one also overrideable settings, play movable key settings. And then let's add A, which is negate and override settings, play movable key settings. And finally let's add D, and you don't need to add any modifiers, but let's make it as override settings, play mappable key settings. Okay, so those are the things that we should have. And I just remembered, since we come with this negate thing, inside this IA look input action, we added this negate feature as well. So here I have added both X, Y, C to be negated. So you can see whenever I move my mouse to the roll direction, it negates. But let's try to disable these two, and it only applies for the Y direction. Okay, and you can see now the C is not negated and Y is negated, right? Okay, I think this approach would be much nicer, but if you want to negate your C value as well, you can simply use this one as true. But for now I think this one would be nice. Keep it like this. Okay, so we have changed our look negate value, plus we have added 4 input mappings to our IA move input action. Okay, then let's go to our BP player base, and inside there let's search for that IA move, and I'll split this struct. Okay, so let's manipulate our character by adding some movement input. So first let's get the control rotation. I'll split this thing, and let's get the right vector. Again I'll split these values. I need to only use X and Z, and there let's add movement input, which is given by this X scale. Okay, so this is basically left and right movements. Sorry. And similarly I'll get the control rotation and get forward vector, split this thing, and I'll use Z axis and add new movement input, which is given by Y scale. Okay, so this is basically forward and backward inputs. Okay, I'll change the colors of these comment layers, and I'll rename this as or not rename, I'll comment this as movement input. Okay, right, now I think we should be able to move our character. So let's play it. Yeah, as you can see, when I'm pressing WASD, our character is moving, right? So we can control our camera also by pressing WASD key controls. We can move our character inside our label as well. Okay, so I think this is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, let's try to implement some animations to our character. So instead of having this T pose, our character will have some sort of a idle or dynamic animation. Okay, we'll see how we can implement these features in the next tutorials, and see you there. Thank you.